Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and I think we just found a Transformer. That's right, today we're taking a look at Transformers 4 Age of Extinction, Evasion Mode, Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. I've had this guy here for a couple of days now, and I have got to say this guy is quickly becoming one of my absolute favorites. I am really enjoying this guy. Now, if my voice sounds a little different, it's because I just went through a series of surgeries that involve my nostrils and my sinuses and my nose holes and my throatses and I've had all kinds of stuff done over the last week or so, and I'm actually still in the recovery period. But if my voice sounds a little different, it's because I'm still recovering from that, and there's actually a chance that my voice is going to remain changed after the fact. So, in fact, I'm actually not, I still have a little bit of a sore throat. I'm not supposed to be doing this video right now, but I can't help it. I need to get this done, and I'm sure my throat's going to be angry with me later, but I don't care. I've got to get this video done. I have got, during the period of my recovery, I have gotten 3 new primes that I have been just dying to review and get the videos out. So I've got to get this done. I got to get this guy out here. So let's start with this guy right here. Let's check this guy out. This guy is awesome. Released in May of 2014. This guy is brand new. Just came out at the time of this recording. He is literally days old. Just came out in stores. And this retailing, it cost me about $25, and I think that's going to be about the regular retail for Voyagers at this time. It's going to be about $25. Here in truck mode, he's approximately 5 inches long and about 2.5 inches tall right here at the top of the cab. And as you can see, he is a throwback to a G1 Optimus Prime. He's got the flat nose cab, he's got the red and the blue. He looks like G1 Optimus Prime, and I absolutely adore this. This guy looks so awesome. Just check this guy out, all the detail, all the truck detail on him and everything. This guy looks just like G1 Optimus Prime's truck mode. And I really love this. This is really cool. He came with a weapon, this guy right here, and this is not your traditional Optimus Prime looking weapon. This looks more like Megatron's shotgun from the third movie from Dark of the Moon. It's missile loaded, so you can load the missile right in there. He's got the little trigger up top and ready to blow up your face with a little spring loaded gimmick. Now, the weapon here is got the handle here for mounting on the truck. You can mount it on the top here. There goes the missile. You can mount that on the top there, and you can also mount it on the what will become the bottom of the feet in robot mode for transportation purposes. But quite honestly, if you look at the and then of course it's the same handle or the same peg here can be used in robot mode for him to hold them in his fist. But if you look at the back of the handle here, he's got these 2 tabs. And if you've got yourself a Dark of the Moon Megatron like I have here, and you look inside his hands, inside the hands, Megatron's got these 2 slots, one on each hand. So what that means is you can actually take this shotgun here and mount it onto Megatron, and he holds it real secure, and it's even molded in such a way that his hand wraps around that handle, and he's even got the trigger finger going into the trigger. That is super cool, and that is probably the way that is going to stay. That's probably where that's going to stay. Megatron, my Dark of the Moon Megatron just got himself a new weapon, and that's the way it's going to stay. That guy's going to keep that weapon right there. I'm not going to leave that with Optimus. I'm going to get him another weapon, because that is just too cool. I've got a Dark of the Moon Megatron with a proper weapon now. That's awesome. I love that. So that's staying right there. Now back to Optimus and his truck mode. This guy here, I gotta tell you, one of the first things that really impressed me about this guy was the size. When watching some of the other videos on this guy, and even here looking at it through the camera, when I'm holding him in my hand, for some reason, he has a tendency to look small. And this guy is actually a lot bigger than when you see him in person. He's actually a bigger than the way he comes off on camera. And I had even heard mention that he was smaller than the Dark of the Moon Voyagers. Well, if you've got the Dark of the Moon Voyager Prime right here, as you can see, obviously the Voyager is going to be longer because it's the flat nose truck versus the long nose truck. But that's about it, because as far as the height goes, the new Evasion Mode Prime is actually taller. He's wider, and as far as mass goes, all around, this is a bigger toy than this was. So I don't think that it's fair to say that this is smaller than the Dark of the Moon Voyagers. And when we get into robot mode, actually, I'm going to put him next to both Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Primes, because he's actually taller than both of those as well. So this guy, so far, I've got no complaints with this guy. This guy is absolutely great. I love them. I love the design of the truck mode. I love the details going into it. If I were going to change anything on it, it would be the probably I would add a second smokestack, because as you can see, he's only got the one. So I would like to have seen that with a double smokestack. That, and then some of the paint. Obviously, he doesn't have the silver wheels. And I'm going to address that. I'm gonna paint those silver, and then I'm considering maybe even painting this over this symbol, just painting the solid stripe, and then giving him symbols up here at the top, so he looks more like his classic self, and maybe giving him some more silver details, painting the tanks, and some of the stuff in here, giving them a little more detail, so it doesn't look. You can see how the red is peeking through right there, and it kind of breaks it up a little bit. So I might give him some detail just to fix that. But other than some paint detail, I think there's no complaints from me on this guy. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's what we've always wanted. It's the movie Optimus Prime with the G1 theme to it, and I think they pulled it off so well. I absolutely adore this guy. For transformation, this guy transforms unlike any other Prime you've ever seen, especially a box flat nose truck Prime that you've ever seen. So I'm going to start right here at the front. I'm going to take the grill and pop this open, and just kind of pop it up, and right there you're going to see the head is revealed. And just go ahead and before we do that, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to fold down the smokestack, and I'm going to take these panels and I'm going to get them up and out of the way, just like that. And that's going to let me rotate the head all the way around. And I like to do that first because it just gets the head up and out of the way. The transformation can be a little not, I don't want to say complicated, but it does take some learning, and it does take some getting used to. Once you know it, it's really intuitive, but you have to go through the process of actually learning. Right here, the whole front, if you pull on the sides here, the wheels are pegged in on the front of the truck, there and there, so you can unpeg those. And then the whole sides of the truck here, these are going to pull out to the side and unpeg this front piece here where the bumper's at and what's left off the grill, and then just take this whole thing and pull it down and just get it out of the way right there. The two sides of the roof here, you pull these forward and get them as far forward as you can, and once you get there, you can take the sides here, and these are going to rotate, and it's going to look like the whole front of this thing is just going to explode. You can rotate them out to the side like that. Once you get them here, if you look under here, you're going to see that's the arm there. So just go ahead and take the time now to get this arm out of the way, just like that. And finish spinning that panel all the way up, just like that. Take this little piece on the front and flip that down and out of the way. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So we're going to take this side and spin it, or flip it to the side. Get the arm out of the way. Pop this piece down and flip this whole side the rest of the way up, just like that. So once we get to this point, remember what the front of the truck here, we're going to take the inside the you got your headlights and you got your grill and bumper here, and right on the inside you can see this little panel here with the smokestacks, and those are actually going to become the smokestacks that sit on his shoulder. So go ahead and pop those out just like this, and then this whole thing is going to rotate up and over. This piece, this panel here is going to go in between that opening right there, and this whole thing is going to sit flat right there with Optimus' head. Take his chest piece right here and fold this down, and this is going to sit all the way down into the front, just like so. And then if you look right here on the sides of the what was the front of the truck, there's a tab there and there. And there's a couple of grooves there and there on those sides of the truck. So these guys just come right in there. They don't snap in place, but they line everything up real nice to hold in place. And then once you got those guys sitting right there lined up properly, then you take these panels and you bring those guys in, and you can hear those snapped in place. And now the entire torso is in place. You can bring the arms down, straighten these out, straighten out the fist. Same thing on this side. Straighten out the arms, straighten out the fist. Go ahead and stand him up. You can bring these wheels up. You can separate the legs. And then the whole fifth wheel part here, this is going to fold down. And you can straighten the bottom piece out to make the feet. And there is Evasion mode, Optimus Prime, in robot mode. Let me get him all straightened out and camera adjusted for you. And just check this guy out. This guy looks so awesome. I really love this guy. Now here in robot mode rather, he's approximately 7 inches tall at the head. And like I was saying, he's a good sized Voyager. He's comparable to like the currently you got if you got like a Voyager Springer, some of the current Voyagers, you can see they're comparable in size right there. And like I was saying, some people have been saying that he's smaller than the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, the Voyager class. And if you look here, is the Dark of the Moon Voyager Optimus Prime. And Evasion mode is actually taller than that guy. So he's taller than him. And then if you've got the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Optimus Prime, this guy right here, again, Evasion mode Prime is taller than the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Prime. So this is a very good size figure, a very good size Optimus Prime. Now I have to say, I'm in the, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm in the camp ever since the first movie came out. You know, I always wondered. You know, I've liked the design of Optimus Prime in the movies. I like every time they take a new and a different look on Optimus Prime. I always enjoy them, but I have to admit that I also always questioned why they went with the long nose truck. Why didn't they go with a flat nose cab? Why didn't they go with a more G1 look, the red with the blue, instead of all the flames? You know, I've always wondered. I'm not one of those guys that goes on the internet screaming about it, but I've always wondered, and I've always wanted to see what if they could do it that way. And here it is. You know, you've got the flat nose cab. When he turns into the robot, he's very obviously the design of the first movie, Optimus Prime. It's very obvious that that's what the design is. But he's got the red and the blue, you know, very G1 themed. And I have to admit, while I absolutely adore this is like a bucket list check off the checklist. This is what I wanted since the first movie. I have to admit, I can see this would not have worked in the movies. Honestly, guys, I don't think this design would have worked. I don't think this would have translated well on movie screens. I think this is awesome. I think this is an excellent toy, but I don't think this would have worked well in the movies. So I think I can see why they made all the decisions that they made. As far as articulation goes, he's got the head is interesting because he's got the neck here is on a pivot, so you can actually move this head forward and backwards. But then it's also on a ball joint, so you've got all kinds of range of motion with the head here. So that's really good. The shoulders here are on the ratchet, and it's in the universal ratchet, so you've got the in and out with the click there, but you've also got a 360. You've got a rotation right there above the elbow. The elbow, because of the transformation, goes all over the place. As you can see, you can get more than a 90, and then you can actually... The arm is actually straight here, but the way that this is designed for the transformation, it looks weird. But it works. And then you saw the fist had rotation. You've got rotation at the waist. Again, universal joint at the hips, so you can go. If you move the wheels out of the way here, you can go all the way out, and then of course you can go forward and backward. You've got a good range of motion on the knee, and due to transformation, you've also got a good range of motion on the ankle. You got forward and backward, and then you've also got side to side. So he's got a very good range of motion for articulation. And I'm going to get his weapon and bring his weapon in here real quick. I have to take it back away from Megatron. it wouldn't be fair to show him without his weapon, since this is the weapon that he came with. I'm going to go ahead and show him with the weapon. There he goes. There's his shotgun that he took away from Megatron. He used it to blow up Megatron's face, and now he's ready to blow up your face with it. There you go. So, yeah, this is a great figure. The detail on this guy is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite features on the just part of detailing alone. If you look on the back here, they went so far as to design the hitch, the fifth wheel, into the small of his back there. I mean, they went all out on this guy. All the detail on him. If you look at his legs, he's got all the detail from that first movie Prime on there. It's a very well detailed figure. He's got the steps sitting right here on the shoulders. He's got the smokestack sitting by his head, the offset windows. Just an incredibly detailed figure, a very good looking figure, very well designed. I'm really enjoying this figure. This guy, I have not put this guy down since I got him. And this is what, like I said, this is one of 3 primes that I got while I was in recovery. And I have not set this guy down. I just love this guy so much. I've been having so much fun with him, just fiddling with him. And I've been itching to get this guy in front of a camera and review him for you guys. If there was anything that I would change on this guy, it would be... The one thing that I really don't understand is if we were, obviously this was an homage for those of us that have been wanting a G1 movie style prime. And that's very obvious, with the flat nose and the paint job and all of that. If they were going to give us a G1 homage, why not give us a faceplate on the face? I don't understand. Now, don't get me wrong. If you look at, let's see if we can get in close here. If you look at the design on this guy's head, this guy has a... Come on, man. Come on, let's get some focus. There it is. Look at the design on the head on this guy. This guy has an incredibly detailed, beautiful face. This guy looks dead on to that face from the movie Prime. It's absolutely incredible sculpting. However, if you're going to give us the G1 style... Why not give us a faceplate? That would have been the only thing I would have changed on this. Would have been the face paint. And, of course, some of the paint details. If you were to look, I've got the box here, which I don't typically show. But if you look at the box here, you can see there's a lot of differences between this piece and the piece that you actually get. And if you take a very good close look at this, this had to be a prototype. This was not the design run figure. The production run figure. You can see there's some differences in the sculpting themselves in the arm and stuff like that. So this is a very obviously a prototype. But the paint on this guy, he's got the stripes on the chest, which this guy doesn't have. He's got the red and gray on the arms, and the detail on this guy is more G1 than what you actually get in the figure in the package. And again, that's probably something I'm going to address. I'm probably going to take some paint to this guy, and I'll give you guys an update on that. But as it stands, this guy is absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend this guy. If you guys find him, absolutely pick him up. I think he is an amazing figure. And just a quick update here. I've gone ahead and done a little bit of detail work on this guy since I filmed the first part of the video, and I wanted to show that off before I went ahead and put the video online and put everything up there. So I think the biggest part of the facelift here is, as usual, it turns out to be the wheels. Black wheels on Transformers drive me nuts, and I do this a lot. I paint my wheels silver on a lot of my Transformers. So this guy was no exception. So I went ahead and I painted his wheels silver, which I think is a big improvement. I also painted the tanks here. I painted them silver as well. I covered up the Autobot symbol on the sides here. I wasn't really a big fan of that. It blends together a lot better than it's showing on camera. Like, I was really happy with it in hand, and now looking at it through the camera, I can actually see the difference in color between what I did and what the camera's picking up and what was originally there. So I think I'm actually going to go back and redo the entire stripe. I only did the part where the Autobot symbol was at. And like I said, that really didn't show in person, but looking at it through the camera, it's really showing. So I think I'm going to go back and do the entire stripe all over again, just so everything's even, it matches up nicely. And then, I gave it the Autobot symbols on the top here, so it's more reminiscent of the G1 truck. So I'm real happy with that so far. I really like what I've got here. And then also, another thing that I wanted to show in the first part of the video, and I forgot, if you have the trailer for the Dark of the Moon Voyager size Prime, he's actually in very, very good scale. Now, he doesn't actually hook up, because the hookup for the trailer is all the way back here, and the fifth wheel on Prime is all the way to the front, so you can't, it won't actually reach, so you can't, turn the truck and drive it around or anything like that, but you can actually set the trailer on there, and it does hold it in place. Like I said, you can't turn it, so you can't do that, so you can't really play with it. But as far as having them sit there and actually hold the trailer and pull it back and forth, it actually does work pretty well with it, and it's in very good scale, and I think that just looks absolutely gorgeous, guys. Check that out. That is a beautiful, beautiful homage to G1 Prime using the movie toy. So I really love that. I really like what I've got going on here. It's almost a shame. I'm almost tempted to get another one just so I can display this one just like this, and then display another one in robot mode. And then speaking of robot mode, I also did some changes there. So let's get to the robot, and then we'll get out of here. And here we are in robot mode, and I think I'm going to be going back and working on this guy again. It's looking pretty good, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. First thing I did was I gave him silver smokestacks up here, and I like that a lot better than what he had. And then I also gave him the stripe on the chest, the silver stripe that he didn't originally have. And what I did here is I followed the same pattern as the pattern on the box artwork. I gave him some gold details here, just like the other movie primes had. They had the little gold detail on the waist piece there. And then I painted the top of the arm red with a little bit of silver detail. Now, this is the same red paint that I use on all my other custom primes, and it typically blends in really well, and it matches really well. For some reason, I don't know if it's the plastic on this or the paint that was used below it or what, but for some reason on this guy, this came out a lot darker than the rest of the figure, and I mean, granted, I think he looks better than he looked before, but I'm not happy with that. That's too dark for my taste, so I'm going to be making some mixtures and possibly airbrushing that and trying to get it to match a little better. But you got the idea of what it is going to look like when it's done. The entire arm is going to be red. I'm going to have some little silver details there, and then, everything else is pretty much going to stay the same. The silver smokestacks and the silver stripe on the chest, and that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted, so I'm pretty happy with it. And I think that about covers Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Please leave me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.